Just give me 1 minute. Make sure this is working. Okay, I think we're all set.
Okay.
So actually, let's just start with introduction, what your name is and what your job is.
My name is Dan Butts. I'm the Vice President of Biofouling for ASI Group Limited.
Perfect. And can you explain what technologies ASI has innovated in the biofouling space?
Yeah, ASI was originally involved in the initial determination of dosages for oxidants for zebra mussel control, which is really the initial option available in the early 1990s when they really became a problem for water users. Since that time, we've refined that technology into a portable service, which we deploy at facilities in all affected waters. We've also refined our technologies and honed them towards different applications. One of the most popular has been the use of potash, which it's not a chemical that's sold by a chemical supplier. It's a commercially available product which farmers use obviously every year for fertilizer, but at low dosages, it's toxic to zebra mussels while being not toxic to other non-target organisms. We developed that technology in the 1990s and have since used it in lower flowing systems, typically like firewater protection networks, and also in open bodies of water to do actual eradications from small lakes.
Perfect. We're good. I'm getting a slight shake on your laptop.
Yeah, that's me. When I'm talking, I have my arms on the.
Okay, yeah. Just sit back a bit. And I know it's kind of weird, but do your best to look at the screen or to look at the camera of the laptop.
That's what I've been looking at the whole time. Why am I always wandering?
Yeah, a little bit. It's not a big deal though.
Okay.
Okay. Next question. Okay, well let's start on the basics. How and where are zebra mussels spreading today?
Really, they're all through the continental United States. I think everybody realizes that they began in the Great Lakes through a ballast water discharge about 30 years ago, even more than that now. Since that time, they've spread via waterways and via accidental introductions across the United States. More recently, in the last 5 or 6 years, they crossed into Western Canada. Serious problem right now in Manitoba, with Saskatchewan expecting their arrival anytime, and Alberta making rapid preparations to deal with what happens when they arrive.
And why are zebra mussels such a huge problem for different industries?
Because of the way that they reproduce and because of the way that they attach to hard surfaces. For water users that aren't employing some sort of treatment, mussels attach to hard surfaces like the insides of pipes. They do that readily, and they can reproduce and congregate in a manner that reduces the ability of water to flow through these pipes. So it reduces a plant's ability to cool off its processes, and that becomes a big problem as years go by without any remedial actions taken.
Nice. Okay. And can you explain ASI's dual approach to biofouling?
Sure. Beyond the control work that we do to get rid of or to eliminate zebra mussels from a system, we also developed a method whereby we could measure the rate at which they're accumulating within a system. This was developed again early on, almost 30 years ago. We can assess the level of infestation in the system simply by measuring water concentrations of mussels. regularly over a period of years, we can tell how much is accumulating inside the piping system. Once we know that their levels are critical, we can employ our control strategy to go in and sweep the system clean. And we find that in most cases, that's required to be done annually. In some cases, it isn't, but the only way we would know that is through the monitoring portion of it. So essentially, they go hand in hand in letting clients employ their dollars most effectively in dealing with this problem.
And since this is like a constant problem for industries, are most of your clients more long term rather than just sort of short projects?
Yeah, yes, they are. We've got clients that we've done treatments for 30 straight years. It becomes more of a preventative maintenance procedure than a one-time program. They employ it every year. Their pipes are cleaned out every year.
Perfect. And can you just touch on other invasive mussels and if your process works for those as well?
No, where did that one come from? Oh, quaggas.
Quaggas, yeah.
Okay, so when I'm talking about zebra mussels, I'm using that as a loose kind of because the same treatment methodologies used for zebra mussels work for quagga mussels, and they're intermixed. It's, you know what I mean? It's not like we're going to do a zebra mussel treatment for you and then do a quagga mussel treatment for you. It's not really I think I would just kind of, when you guys are doing the video or kind of, doing the final production on it, just include that as being, they're synonymous, even though they're two different species. The only people who care about that are the biologists who are PhDs. In terms of control, it doesn't mean anything to industry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's probably not the answer you're looking for, but that's just the reality of it. This process works exactly the same for both species and in the similar amount of time and with a similar price tag.
Okay, I'd probably want to get you to say something like, quagga mussels they're a different species than zebra mussels, but from all practical purposes, the treatment process is exactly the same. Something like that would be good.
Okay, no problem. Let me think for a second. Okay. So after the initial invasion of zebra mussels, about 5 or 6 years later in the early 1990s, it became apparent that a second invasive mussel was also present in the Great Lakes, which was called the quagga mussel. They're dealt with exactly the same way zebra mussels are. So in effect, when we're doing a treatment for zebra mussel control, we're also doing a treatment for quagga mussel control. The exact same parameters apply, the exact same dosages apply, and it's a treatment that's done simultaneously.
Great, that was perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it for my questions.
Okay.
Could you just give me 1 second just to, I'll stop the broadcast and just make sure everything came out all right.
Okay, would you like to ask the same questions of Aaron and Nathan? They're at your
Yeah, I will,
okay.
And then I'll just cut between them.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so I'll just give me like 2 minutes. I'm just gonna send out a new link to Aaron's email, and then they can log in if we're all set.
Yep. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, see you in a minute.